It was devastating. I think maybe 2 weeks I stayed in my car until my friend found out the situation and told me to come and stay with her. I felt like they weren't listening at all, and it seems like in the system, whoever calls the cops first, they're on that person's side.
Ms. Crawford was based on one simple 911 call, one allegation from a non-credible source. She was charged with a crime. She lost 2 jobs. She was separated from her 2 children and her own NYCHA apartment for which she was on the lease for nearly 3 months. For decades, New York State criminal courts routinely granted pre-trial temporary stay-away orders in domestic abuse cases without requiring the prosecution to submit any evidence to justify them. This is an everyday occurrence in New York City, in a corner of the criminal legal system where those accused are effectively presumed guilty rather than innocent.
I go to the prosecutor and they tell me we're asking for a full order of protection. And I'm thinking about the conversation that I'm about to have with you, letting you know that that full order of protection is going to mean that you're going to have to leave your home. And
it was very devastating because from my perspective, it's like it was a 1, 2, 3 case. Like I've always been the victim. All of a sudden, I felt like he manipulated the system and used it against me. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna see that and they're gonna let me go back home. Once you told me I couldn't go home, like I couldn't go. Why can't I go home? Like I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm the leaseholder. So why is it that he gets to stay and he doesn't even belong there?
And no judge or prosecutor wanted to look into whether or not that was fair, nor would they hear us when we asked for just one hearing to determine whether or not this was just. But this was a really big undertaking, so we looked for pro bono partners to help bring this kind of challenge because we knew it would be an uphill climb. And that's when we met with Covington, and it turned out to be a really excellent partnership because they immediately understood the issue and they agreed with us that this was a meritorious claim, and they were interested in working and devoting real time and energy to it.
The filing of the petition resulted in our first major victory. A different Bronx criminal court judge read the petition, demanded justification from the prosecution for the full order, and found it lacking. Finally, Ms. Crawford was permitted to return home to her children, and soon after, all criminal charges against her were dismissed. With Ms. Crawford's strong support, we continue to litigate the case.
in a historic decision, the First Department accepted our arguments. The decision broadly declared the constitutional right to a prompt evidentiary hearing whenever a stay-away order affects a personal or property interest.
Shamika Crawford's case it's devastating, but it's not unique. Sadly, this is happening every day in Bronx criminal court, and not just in the Bronx, it was happening across the city and even in other areas of the state. So it wasn't there was a shortage of cases, but a case like this requires somebody who wants to fight not just their own case, but to fight for other people.
On the very day of the decision, defense lawyers began demanding, and New York criminal court judges began scheduling what are now called Crawford hearings. The First Department's decision establishes precisely the clear and expansive precedent that we were hoping for when we began this effort years ago.
Every day in New York courts, we're hearing people asking for Crawford hearings, Crawford hearings, Crawford hearings. That's after your last name.
Right.
What does that feel like?
It feels good. Like my parents, I know they're ecstatic about it. It feels good to have your name associated with something good. It really does.